Welcome to Grow My Etsy Shop podcast, the drips of knowledge you need to start growing.
Hey, welcome. So today we are going to be talking about justification imagination. I actually came up with this title when I was on the mastermind meeting and I said something about this and then it rhymed and I was like, oh, I'm going to write that down. That was a great flow there, justification imagination. So there was a particular student we were going through and she is creating a line. So what she's doing, and this is smart for those following along at home, is that she's creating some things specifically for the holidays. And then she went through her store and she was like, hey, there are other listings that could potentially be used as gifts. So I already have them. They're already here. I already promote them. They sell on Father's Day. They sell throughout the year. They sell on Mother's Day. They sell, you know what I mean? Like people are buying these for gifts, but there's nothing about it that promotes Christmas or anything about it. And so she went through and extracted a bunch of holiday words, because keep in mind, people are shopping for people. So a lot of times they'll, you know, I talked about this during that episode where I was making fun of my brother for doing steroids, is there's reasons why people are, so they go on Etsy and they search for, you know, I'm looking for a gift for this type of person. I'm looking for a gift for you know, someone who likes this, someone who's, and so like, I know I've got people who have like gardening niches and they'll pop up as gardening gifts and stuff like that during the holiday seasons. And so though your store is a gardening store, that doesn't mean I guess I can't sell in the holidays. Like, no, there's gardeners who people need to buy for. And so if you have a niche and a target audience and can hit that during this time, it's great. So what this person was doing at this time is they were like, okay, I have listings. I already sell them. Let's move them over. And so she duplicated a handful of listings, created a category in her store called Christmas Gifts, and moved these new listings with the title, that are more holiday themed, hostess gifts and things like that. It's more of her niche that she's hitting. So she's trying to get these people who entertain and want to have centerpieces to their entertainment that is holiday themed, or presenting food on trays and things that's holiday themed. Like that's what she's going for. So she's essentially moving things over that could work, that are holiday colored and themed or whatever, and making it happen. So she was showing me, Jared, this is what I did this week. Looking at it, go, good, so good. So then she's like, here's some of these listings that I created. And so she opens up a listing. I'm going through the listing. I'm like, oh, this is good. And then I'm like, get done with that. I'm like, that's an A listing. Like I grade that the letter A. And then I'm like, all right, but I got to get in here. So I sit back in my chair and I'm like, all right, now I'm going to buy this product. So here I go. I'm going to look at this. And it wasn't until about the 8th picture, she took a lot of pictures and they were beautiful, that were showing her product and how it worked and why it's pretty. But what was lacking was that I didn't get, and this is where this episode comes in, the justification. So this was a $100 product I was looking at, or the imagination. So let me explain what both of these are. So when you are shopping for a higher priced item, you have to have justification to purchase this product. So the last time I spent a lot of money was on my backyard. I got a whole patio put into it. And I would walk outside my house. I just bought this house and it was a swamp. Like anytime it rained, all the neighborhood's water just apparently while I was moved out or moving in or something, everyone's like, dude, go dump the water on this guy's lawn. It was just a swamp in my backyard. And so I realized for me to fix this, not only going to have to do drains and things, I'm going to need to build a patio back here, something that doesn't just swamp up, and grade the patio so that I have no skill sets, can't do that myself. I'm going to hire someone to do it. And so I would spend a lot of time before the purchase kind of walking out in the swamp, making myself excited and giving myself a reason. Man, this backyard. Oh boy, this backyard. How are my kids ever going to play back here without this? How am I supposed to do this? I got big plans. How am I supposed to do? Just justifying this bad boy in my head. Justify. Because I knew this thing was going to be buco bucks. Get my quote, all that kind of stuff. Then the company builds it. And now I'm got to justify the cost of it by being out it and, being outside and using the patio and yada, yada, yada. And that's the justification process that we take when we're making purchases. And so if I'm going to buy something, I need to justify the reasoning for it. This is a practice we usually use when we have to ask our spouses for permission to buy something. So, instead of like, hey, honey, I just bought a new Tesla. You have to justify that. Tesla's done a great job with this, because what do you say? We're going to save on gas. So this expensive car, it's going to be okay because I commute a lot. I want to be comfortable. I want to do self-driving. It's going to help me relax. It's going to help me kind of unwind and not be so pressure in the driving. I'm going to be able to save a lot of money and gas in the commuting and stuff like this. This is a justification to buying this product. And you can create, and so as you're looking at your slides, I want you to kind of self-evaluate and say, do I justify the reasoning of buying this product? Now, if it's under $20 or a good price for what it is, don't worry about it. If you're getting up there, I need someone to kind of open their wallet for this one. This is kind of a price point where someone might need to justify this. Well, then please justify it for them. So in this scenario, she was selling a centerpiece, and this centerpiece was about $100. And as I was going through her picture, I wasn't really seeing this ever being used as a centerpiece. At one point, she had it as a centerpiece, but it was pretty close, the picture was. So I was like, reasoning to her, or what I was trying to tell her was like, I need you to let them know, because why are they buying this? Why are they buying this centerpiece? It's because they want their home to have this holiday flair, and it was a Christian themed, and so, bringing the quote unquote the true meaning of Christmas into the house and this kind of stuff. This is what they're trying to do, and you can't put a price on that. If like, hey, we're going to make your home more cozy and holiday and have it more Christ-centered and real reason of Christmas and gather your family around the table and, sing Silent Night. That's someone will pay $100 for that. That's what they want. That's what they're going to spend their money on. So give them that justification. Allow them to see that and be like, oh, yes, this is what I'm looking for. This justifies this. So let's just imagine that they have to, and this is a great exercise, they have to get permission from someone else to buy this product. And you have to run through your head the script that they're going to give to justify that purchase. So, it's easy for people like Jared. I can talk big here because I sell information that helps you grow your Etsy shop. And so you may be saying, Jared, where the heck do you sell that? True. I don't have a lot of places, but for example, the mastermind that I open up once a year, what am I selling? I'm selling growth to their Etsy store. So they can justify that with ROI. They can say, well, I'm going to make more money. Therefore giving Jared money makes me money. This is a justified decision. You don't give people money in exchange for money. You give people an item in exchange for money. And so running that exercise through your head where you're going to say, what are they going to get? How are they going to justify this? So when their husband or their spouse or their friend or whoever they're going to run this by says, well, why are you buying that? They're not going to go, because I think it's cute. That doesn't really work. It has to be a little bit deeper than that. Well, I think I'm going to use it here. I think I'm going to put it here. I think this is going to help this. This is going to help what I'm doing. So again, this all is for a little bit higher price tag stuff. You don't necessarily, again, I'm going to say it, you don't have to justify something that's, they're like, it's like $10, $15. They're like, well, I just want it in my office. I think it's cute. I'm like, great. Knock your socks off. We start getting up there in price. This is where that justification comes in. At one point, years and years and years ago, I worked with this girl who did shot skis, where you would put shot glasses in a ski, and then she would engrave the last name of the person on the ski. And the whole idea of it is you put shot glasses on it, and then the wedding party drinks from the ski all at the same time, and at the bottom of it, so while they're drinking, it says, just married or whatever it may be. What is the reason someone's going to buy a ski with a bunch of shot glass holders in it? Like ding, 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 Jeopardy music. It's for the picture. That's what they're buying it for. They're buying it strictly for this little moment that they're having in their wedding, the picture, and then the keepsake that comes with that, something you're going to have the rest of your life. And so if the picture is showing how they made it, how big it is, where the shot glasses go, how the last name is at the bottom, ready to buy, you've ignored two things, the justification and the imagination. So we've discussed justification. Again, it's, oh, that's going to make such a great picture. It's going to be something they're going to keep the rest of their life. They're going to have it in their wedding film or albums or whatever, and we get to keep the ski and hang it up in our house or display it whatever. It's a keepsake. Maybe our kids will use it when they get married. All of those things justify spending the hundreds of dollars that this ski was being sold for. So now the next question is, if that's justification, what's imagination? So imagination is when you, and this is the removal or permission that their imagination, oh boy, this was a confused sentence. Let me try this again. I was going down two different avenues here. The removal being, you're removing their having to figure it out themselves. And so they can imagine it because they can see it. So when you have the Instagram picture of the shot glass up and the beautiful wedding party with the nice lights and the families having a good time, and you get this perfect picture of this taking place, that's what you want to display. And then letting them know, and I always say this to my people I'm working with. I said that weird. I said that like what's that guy's name? And Winnie the Pooh. What's his freaking name? Piglet? That's his name. I said that like Piglet. So people can see that perfect Instagram picture, and then I always tell people this, said it right this time, is that you want to tell people what they're looking at. So you can literally say something on the picture that's like, capture that perfect moment, have this forever, keepsake, all that stuff. So they see it and they're like, oh my gosh, that's what I want. That's it right there. That's justification for what I'm doing. And I can imagine what my life will be like with this product. That's it. So when you create that imagination, or when you create something, you remove them having to figure it out. Keep in mind, if it's just pictures of skis and how you made it and where the shot glasses go and the dimensions of it, which are important, but not as important. I'm going to say it. Not as important as emotionally selling to someone. And that's that emotional hook. Justification, imagination. So when they see it, oh man, I love it. Now, this is when I use the word remove. Remove they're using their imagination, because you're just putting it in there. Here it is for you. The other one is to spark their imagination. So allow them to see the potential of what something could be as well. So you can dabble in other areas. For example, the keepsake side of this shot ski. You could have the picture mounted, or show mounting gear or something, and say like, hang it up in your house or keep in your garage or whatever. I've never seen a shot ski in someone's house, but maybe they do. And that helps spark their imagination, which is better than nothing. Obviously the best way is to visually hook them with a great picture that's going to show it. But if you don't have access or whatever it may be, then you at least want to spark it by telling them, look, this is where you can use these things. This is where functionality comes in. This is why people love it. Spark that imagination that's coming in. So if we go back to our friend that I was talking about earlier with the centerpiece, the kind of more Jesus-centered piece for their Christmas holiday dinner, what does that look like? It looks like this. You have it in the center, you have a beautiful table set, and you have people at the table who are maybe not people. Maybe you just want to keep it as a right before that feeling of like, my dinner is set, the turkey's hot, the mood, the light, and my family's going to knock on the door any minute. I'm going to let them in, and all my kids and a couple grandkids are going to sit around the table, and we're going to have this beautiful centerpiece. So the way you would create that, and that's what I was looking for when I was going through her photos, was like, at what point do I get to see my life with this product? And she spent a lot of time kind of just showing the product, which it was well made. But I never sunk my teeth into the imagination side. So do yourself a favor. It's Friday. Open up your listings and go through them with those two questions. Do I justify the purchase? If somebody had to explain to someone else why they bought this or why they needed this product, do I give them the answer? And number two being, do I help them imagine what their life will be like with this product? Does the product show someone wearing it? Does the product have somebody using it? Does the product show what it would look like? Often in marketing, it's called the ultimate benefit. So there's benefits and ultimate benefit. I'll touch this briefly with you. A benefit to a Tic Tac is that you have fresh breath. A benefit to a Tic Tac is that it tastes good. A benefit to a Tic Tac is that it's in a small container. so you're not carrying around a giant thing or whatever. A benefit to a Tic Tac is that it doesn't melt. Those are all benefits, and those are good to know. And usually I have a slide dedicated to benefits. Doesn't melt, small, breath smells good. I can't remember the other one I said. Benefits. And then we move into ultimate benefit. I'm trying to think who coined that phrase. It's a very common phrase in the marketing world, and I don't know who coined it. But ultimate benefit is, what does their life look like with your product? And so in the Tic Tac is a weird analogy here, but let's go with it. So with a Tic Tac, it is that you have great smelling breath, that you don't worry about your breath stinking when you're talking to people, that you're getting a quick solution to this fear of having bad breath. Oh my gosh, is my breath bad? You could take it even further, that like, this is kind of dramatic, but like, you could lose potential, friends or relationships or job promotions because your breath isn't good. Very dramatic. Wouldn't recommend going down this rabbit hole, but just getting your brain flowing here into saying, you buy a Tic Tac not because it doesn't melt. It's a bonus. You don't buy a Tic Tac because it is small. It's a bonus. You buy it for good breath, so that, and I love this saying, and I do this often when I'm coaching people. I use the word "so that." So they say, well, Tic Tacs, they give you good breath. And I say, so that. And they say, well, so that you feel good and you feel confident talking to people, and you feel like you don't have to worry about it at all. It's not something that's on your mind. You kind of just turn it off your brain to, does my breath smell bad or whatever? And move forward knowing your breath's going to smell good. And it's like, yes, that feeling is why someone buys a Tic Tac. It's not because they love the orange flavor. Maybe they do, but it's so that they can get the good breath that comes with that. And so you want to take and separate what is the benefits of my product, and you present your benefits, and then you present the ultimate benefit. Usually the ultimate benefit is an emotional thing, where benefits are more of a physical thing. It's small, fits in your pocket, doesn't melt, tastes good, physical. Emotional, don't have to worry about talking to your boss with bad breath. Don't have to. It's more feelings that's in there. And if you can present the feeling that they will feel, then you can sell the feeling. And where we're in a world where, I saw a quote the other day that said something like, if you can't share what your product is, or convince someone emotionally to connect with your product in 5 seconds, you are going to lose in this short attention span world that we live in. Like, you've got 5 seconds to emotionally hook somebody in with what you're doing. And so that's on social media, of course, that I was referring to. Etsy, you're going to get a little bit more time than 5 seconds, but it's still there. You're not going to sell anything if they don't justify the reason they're going to pay for you, have their imagination running wild with all the options that their life is going to be like, and understand and connect emotionally with your ultimate benefit. Then everything else that you sell becomes bonuses. Oh, it's also small and fits in my pocket. It's also shipped fast and has a guarantee. If it cracks while it's shipped to me, they'll ship me a new one. Oh, they promise the good breath will last for 30 days. That'd be crazy, but you get what I'm saying here. Those just become bonuses and, ironically, justifications for buying or choosing your product. So once they're sold emotionally, everything else is just features and bonuses that they appreciate and help justify the purchase that's taking place. So as you evaluate yourself, your shop, going through these listings, justify, imagination. Have a great one. This episode is brought to you by Toyota. Just kidding. No, I actually just wanted to say this really quick. In the description, I have a link that signs up, or doesn't sign up. It lets me know that you are interested in more information. That's all it is. In the growth society that I'm creating. And so, as you guys know, I have this podcast, and once a week I let out a podcast, and I don't hold back on this podcast. Everything you need to know to grow your shop is found within the 200 and something episodes I've got in this podcast. And that's great. If that's what you want, you can use it. But if you're like, hey, I would love a little bit more than this, and I would like more personalization to currently the situations that I'm going through, and I would like to connect with people who are Etsy or who are Grow My Etsy Shop fans and have like been following this and following these principles, and this is how they like to learn, and yada yada yada. I'm creating a group for everyone so that we can be in there. I'm going to be in that group. I'm going to be doing things in that group that are going to be kind of teaching and helping you get ROI to your business so that you can keep growing. And so I'm doing a round 1, and this is going to be soon. It was supposed to be actually this next week on Monday, but I forgot my wife is going to London for a week, and I have all, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 of my children at home by myself. And I am pooping my pants. I am so nervous for it. Not that I haven't been alone with children in the past. They're my children, so there's that. We just have not a newborn. She's 15 months old now. Good heavens. I got to stop saying that. I've been saying newborn. She's not newborn. But she's just a freaking Tasmanian devil. And she is whooping us. And so that's the part I'm nervous for. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to. Anyway, the moral of the story is it's not a great time to launch a group. But I'm going to be sending out some emails this next week that have some information, and it's just going to kind of share, and then you get to make a decision. So there's no pressure. Just sign up that just says, yeah, I do want to know what you have, and so you keep it in the back of your mind. But what I am doing is I'm doing a founding father price. So these people who come in, I'm only going to let in, I'm somewhere between 15 to 25 is what I'm thinking, people who I'm going to let in. And for that first round, and then I'm going to do kind of a month, and we're going to experiment with it and see what we think and make tweaks and get feedback, see what they liked, and then I'm going to roll it out to everybody. And so then I'll just be able to say at the end of this podcast, instead of "What's up, creeps? I'm still here," I'm able to say, "Hey," and this is be my short call to action. Do you guys want to join a group, the Growth Society? My tagline is where the elite go to stand out, and my about is an exclusive society of Etsy proprietors. Together we elevate commerce in its most elegant heights. So fancy, right? Anyway, if you want to just get information about that, learn, at least have it in the back of your head, so if you ever do, like, yeah, I feel like I'm at that stage of my business where I need more, you got me. So I'll put the link in the description. See you guys next week. Okay, now I'm just having fun. I thought, I'm just going to leave it on and see how long somebody just sits here with their earbuds in, waiting for Jared to say anything or for the next podcast to start. But then when I stop talking, you're just going to go listen to some other bozo that's going to talk your ear off. So we might as well just hang out with me, right? Look, did you know I can play the harmonica? Here we go. That's not the note. Recognize it? Oh, it is Piano Man. All right, well, see ya.